video is for our 2-year-old room for June week. Are we already in June week 3? Oh my gosh, it's June week 3. Okay, so all month long, our memory verse is, I trust in God, I am not afraid. Psalm 56:11. And our bottom line question, who can trust God? I can trust God. So we've talked about John 3:16 and the story of Jericho last week. This week is the story of Gideon from the book of Judges, and our story focus is God can use you no matter what. So here's a little summary. God can use you no matter what. Week 3, we'll hear about how Gideon trusted that God can use him despite his weaknesses. And God used Gideon to do some pretty amazing things. We want our preschoolers to know that they can press play and trust God to use them too. So jumping over to our leader guide, one of the intro activities that you can do is called large group, small group. So we've got a big hula hoop and a little hula hoop and a laundry basket full of stuffed animals. So what you're going to do is you're going to show the kids you've got 2 circles on the floor, a small circle and a big circle. And they call them plush friends, which I don't know who calls them that, but stuffed animals. And we're going to fill our circles with the friends. So then maybe call kids up one at a time and have them pick a stuffed animal out of the basket and put it into the large, and then say, okay, can you put this in the small circle? Can you put this in the large circle? And you're wanting to explain the difference between a small group and a large group. Okay, it is your Ariel. Perfect. So you might tell a couple of kids, maybe 3 kids to put a stuffed animal in the small circle and then the rest to put it in the large circle. And then you're going to say, which circle has the large group? Yes. Now show me the circle with the small group. Perfect. There are more of our friends in the large group than there are in the smaller group. And today we're going to hear a story about 2 groups of people and how, is she coughing right in her mouth? Lola, cover your mouth when you cough. Sorry. And how God has a plan for all of us. And then the other interactivity that you could do, yes?
Mommy.
Oh, you put your Ariel by her. That's perfect. We have all these tap lights. There should be one for each kid. And so what you're going to do is you're going to maybe put all the kids in a big circle and give each kid a light, and they can play with the lights, teach them how to turn them on and off. And then have them say, okay, everybody, we're going to turn our lights off, and then we're going to freeze. And then say, today we'll hear a Bible story about a group of people who used a light to follow God's plan. And we have some really cool lights to play with, so let's play with them. And then maybe have them all turn them on, all turn them off, and then you can just let them play. And then say, okay, well, we're going to hear a Bible story today about a different kind of light called a torch. So then you'll walk down to the large group area. When you get back from large group, your memory verse activity is you're just going to practice saying the memory verse in a soft voice and in a loud voice. So you're going to say, Gideon's army had to be quiet at first, and then they were loud and they scared away the other armies. So let's say our memory verse in a quiet voice and then in a loud voice, and just practice doing that. And then awesome, we can trust God because he has a plan for all of us. Who can trust God? I can trust God. Then this activity, you're going to have a preschool slide in the room, and you're going to have kids slide down the slide, and maybe when they're sitting at the top of the slide, say, who can trust God? And then as they slide down, say, I can trust God. And then the craft activity for this week is you are going to make a torch. So up here you've got black construction paper that you can roll into little torches like this, and I just put 2 pieces of tape down at the bottom and the top. And then I laid out an orange piece of paper, a yellow piece of paper, and a red piece of paper, and then I just you can have the kids just like crinkle it up, and I just put glue all around the inside of this torch and just shove the tissue paper down inside of it to make the torch. And then you've got the little labels that say, I can trust God with Gideon on there. And so you're going to say, we're going to make a torch like Gideon's army used in our Bible story, and you're going to teach them how to do it. And then after they've got it, you're going to say, okay, we're going to stand up, and you guys are going to march with me. So hold your torches high and shout, for the Lord and for Gideon, and then march with me. So in today's story, we heard about how God told Gideon to use his small army to battle the really, really big Midianite army. And Gideon didn't think that he should be the one in charge of God's army, but he trusted God and he did what God told him to do. And Gideon told each soldier to make a trumpet, a torch, and a jar, and then follow him. And they snuck into the Midianites' camp. And when Gideon told them to, they blew their trumpets, they broke their jars, and to let their torches shine, and they shouted, for the Lord and for Gideon. And just like that, the Midianites ran away, and God's army won. So just remember, you're never too small to trust God. Who can trust God? I can trust God. And then they can march around the room a little bit more. So So that is it for this week, guys. All about Gideon. Everything you need is here and ready for you. We got some new baskets on the wall. And, oh, Chrissy's here today with little Libby's. She's so cute. Lola's coughing in her face and bringing her mermaid doll to get her hands tucked around him. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for serving. So thankful for all of you. Thank you for all that you do each and every week for our toddlers. And we'll see you guys on Sunday.